Libra, this is your astrology reading for the month of March. And so before I get into this, this is going to be most accurate for your rising sign. So in order to understand what your rising sign is, you do need to pull your birth chart. There's a lot of free websites out there. You just need to know, obviously, your date of birth, your location, and the time. The time is going to be really significant here just because of how quickly things move and what sign. I mean, even if you're born an hour later, it could be sitting in a different sign. And so really understanding that rising sign, because that's how these forecasts are generated. It is still applicable for your sun sign. So your rising sign is how other people see you. Your sun sign is how you express yourself. And then of course there's your moon sign, which is all about your emotions. And so that's processing everything through that emotional lens. So kind of jumping right into March. And so we have a mix of both Pisces and Aries energy. So we start out in Pisces season, we end in Aries season, and then there's a lot of connection between these two signs along the way. And so what this means for you specifically is this a lot of impact to your 6th house of daily routines and your 7th house of one-to-one relationships. So that could be marriage, it doesn't have to be. It can also be contracts, maybe like any kind of one-to-one type of relationship here. And so early in the month, we'll have Mercury enter the sign of Aries. So that happens on the 9th at 11:03 p.m. Eastern time. And so when that happens, we'll have Mercury, Chiron, the North Node, all in the sign of Aries. And so you're probably already feeling this. We've been in Aries Libra eclipse season since last summer. And so we'll continue to be there throughout this year. And so North Node in Aries, you're probably feeling parts of that in your life. And so this really is going to impact your 7th house of one-to-one relationships. Specifically, when we get into Mercury conjunct the sun. So Mercury is sitting in Aries, but the sun hasn't moved into Aries yet. It's still sitting in Pisces. And so what this means is a blending of these energies, but Mercury in Aries is kind of this excitable communication, really kind of driven to do something and really speak your mind. Might even be impulsively here because Aries can be impulsive. And so there's something about that, maybe being very direct, very open, very honest type of communication here. Sun in Pisces is all about expressing your dreams. And so really understanding just the interaction of these two. The dreams are around your daily routine. And so what is your ideal kind of daily life? And so daily doesn't have to be exactly the same every single day. It's more about like, what is it that you want to do on a regular basis? And then how does that relate to your partnerships, to your one-to-one relationships, your significant other? So there's something here, some sort of goal that you have, some sort of transformation that you want to have when it comes to your personal relationships, and how does that fit into your daily life? And so that's the Mercury conjunct Sun in Pisces. Mercury is also going to be conjunct Neptune in Pisces, and so Neptune is all about those dreams again. So thinking about what is your ideal regimen for yourself? What does your exercise program look like? Daily routines includes things like your nutrition habits. What kind of, how do you eat? What kind of foods do you eat? What is the frequency that you eat? Do you do intermittent fasting? Things like this. So that would all be part of whatever goals that you're trying to create for yourself when it comes to this kind of steady, normal, whatever normal means for you, kind of cadence to your daily life. And then how does that impact, or how do you want to communicate that to like a significant other or somebody else that really has that kind of influence on your life? We'll also have Mercury sextile Pluto in Aquarius. And so Pluto in Aquarius is about breaking down barriers. This is removing anything from your path that just doesn't need to be there. It's structures that you might have created because you needed at one point in life, but now they've become some sort of limitation or restriction, and it's preventing you from being able to move forward. And so that's what Pluto in Aquarius is here to do. It's really to remove those structures. And so what that's doing here is it's impacting your 5th house. And so we've got the 7th house, 5th house kind of energy. 7th house is all about kind of your marriage, long-term relationships, anything in that type of realm. 5th house can be short-term relationships. And so this could be maybe breaking down some sort of barrier to say, you know what? Not all relationships should be short-term. There should be somebody that here that's long-term. Or it could be something about your hobbies and your passions that kind of bleeds into your everyday life. And that might be worth having a conversation with a significant other. So there's a lot of interplay between the 5th, 6th, and 7th houses. So 5th house could be children as well. So children here in the 5th house, is there something here that you want to change in your 5th house as it relates to your marriage? Is there something here? How does that impact your daily routines? What is it that you're looking to do here? And so one option here would be children. So if you're looking to have children, or you want to include children somehow in your life, in your daily life, and then what does that mean from that 5th house? Because this is what kind of barriers exist to maybe having children, and then how does that relate? What kind of communication do you want to have with your significant other, and then how does that impact your daily routines? And what is your ideal daily routine? Maybe it is incorporating kids, having kids, and it doesn't even, I keep getting fostering kids, so that could be significant for somebody, but it is these kind of changes that are being highlighted here, and this type of communication. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get pregnant during this time, or even want to get pregnant at all, but it does indicate that this would be the types of conversations that would come up. And it doesn't have to be that you want children. It can be other things like passions and hobbies that are part of your daily life, or you want them to be part of your daily life. And so what does that mean? Is that less time with your significant other? Is it more time? Is it spending time differently, like doing things together because you both have the same hobby, or whatever it is? And then we have the new moon in Pisces. And so that's just a few hours later. So that happens on the 10th at 4 o'clock in the morning Eastern time. And so when that happens, we'll have the moon, sun, Saturn, and Neptune all in the sign of Pisces. And so when this happens, we have the sun and the moon at the same degree point in the sky. That's what a new moon is. And so they're in a conjunction. It's a blending of that energies. And so it's that self-expression. It's also how you're processing everything through that emotional lens. And so when this happens, the sun and moon will be conjunct Neptune and Pisces. And so again, focusing here on your dreams. That's what Neptune and Pisces is all about. And so for you, this is again your 6th house. So what is it that you want to do? What is it that you're trying to achieve in your everyday type of life? And then the sun and moon will also be conjunct Saturn in Pisces. And so Saturn is all about creating some sort of plan. What is it that you're trying to accomplish? So that's like step one. What's your ultimate goal? What's your dream? And then how do you get there? Because that's what Saturn wants you to do. It wants you to come up with a game plan, something that's realistic and executable. So really kind of keep that in mind there. And then on the 11th at 5:51 p.m. Eastern time, we'll have Venus enter Pisces. And so when this happens, we'll have Venus, Saturn, Sun, and Neptune all in the sign of Pisces. And so there's a lot of energy in Pisces, but the significant piece here is Venus will be conjunct Mars, but Mars is in Aquarius. So Venus enters Pisces, Mars is still in Aquarius, but they're close enough together that the energies are blended. And so Venus in Pisces is harmony, it's relationships, it's what you value. Pisces, it's your dreams. So what is it that you're trying to achieve here? Then we've got Mars in Aquarius. Are there any barriers or restrictions that are holding you back from getting what you want? What needs to be removed from your life? Because Mars is excellent at removing things. That's what it does. It will break away. It will just kind of separate you from whatever is holding you back here. And so for you, this is going to impact your 6th house, your daily routines again, and then your 5th house. So 5th house, that's the Mars and Aquarius energy. So is there something here? Is there some sort of barrier, some sort of block to maybe having children, pursuing a hobby, having the type of relationship that you want? Like maybe it is about something, short-term relationships could be highlighted here, but you have a lot of 7th house energy happening here. So it's more maybe about that kind of playful type of energy, that passionate type of energy, because that's what is represented by that 5th house. It is that these are the things that I enjoy doing outside of work. And so that's that 5th house energy. And so is there something here, something about that 5th house that is blocking you from having the type of daily routine that you want? Because that's what Mars wants to remove. It wants you to experience that ideal state in your daily life. And then on the 19th, we'll have Sun enter Aries. And so this is going to happen at 11:07 p.m. Eastern time. And so this is the vernal equinox in the Northern Hemisphere. So this is the start of spring and warmer weather, which I love. And it is one of 2 days of the year where we have 12 hours of sun, 12 hours of night. And so right away, Sun in Aries, so Aries fire sign. This is the start of the astrological year. We'll have the moon in Leo. So that's a lot of passion, a lot of fire, all happening at the same time. And it's a trine energy. So this is a very easygoing type of energy. And so what this means for you is Aries occupies your 7th house of one-to-one relationships. Leo is in your 11th house of community. And so you think about your one-to-one relationships and you've got your community here. And so this new year, this kind of new energy has you focusing on all the types of relationships in your life, all of those close connections, maybe your close family and friends in your community, your tribe, really, that 11th house, and then your personal relationships here. And so it's about kind of almost blending those energies together, growing those types of connections. We'll also have the Sun conjunct Neptune in Pisces. And so again, we're talking about your 7th house and your 6th house here. And so your one-to-one relationships and then your ideal life here. So again, being highlighted, what is it that you want in your daily routine? How do you want to experience this significant relationship or the significant other type of relationship, whether it's a marriage or it's just a long-term commitment? It's that 7th house energy. This is kind of like your person type of energy. We'll also have the Sun sextile Pluto in Aquarius. And so again, Pluto in Aquarius, very similar to that Mars in Aquarius energy. Pluto is transformation. So sitting in Aquarius, it wants to remove, again, any barriers, blocks. It wants to change things for you. And so this is, again, going to highlight your 7th house and your 5th house. And so something in this house of passions, children, hobbies, something along those lines needs to be adjusted. And Pluto would be adjustment. So it wouldn't just be straight up removal. This would be some sort of modification. And in 7th house, this would be those one-to-one relationships. And so what kind of changes are you trying to make in your 5th house? I keep getting it, so I'm going to say it. So like fertility treatments might be something here that you're trying to change. And so fertility treatments would impact your 5th house because that could be a block to you being able to have children because you have some fertility issues. And so this would be having conversations. So if we think about where we are kind of month to date, you're having conversations with somebody maybe about fertility treatments, and then it would be, okay, let's explore what our options are for child planning. And maybe you're not at the point of fertility treatments. Maybe it's just exploring those kinds of options, having those conversations with a doctor, with your significant other. These would be the types of things that have been highlighted so far this month. And it's really about finding some way to modify whatever is happening here in this 5th house so that you can have the ideal daily life that you want and then have that conversation with your significant other. And then we have Mars enter Pisces. So that's going to happen on the 22nd at 7:48 p.m. Eastern time. And so this is going to be Mars, Venus, Saturn, and Neptune all in the sign of Pisces. So Pisces is all about your dreams. And so with this energy, Mars right away will be opposite the moon in Virgo. And so Mars, Virgo, Mars, moon, really. So Mars in Pisces so Pisces, all about your dreams. Mars is an action oriented, but it's actions related to your dreams. And so these actions would maybe be a little bit softer, less confrontational. Mars can be very confrontational. Mars is the god of war. And so this would kind of mute that a little bit. And then we've got the moon in Virgo. And so Virgo is all about being in service to other people. It's a healing type of energy. It's a very detailed, grounded type of energy as well as an earth sign. And so with your moon, that is your emotions. So thinking about emotions and expressing yourself and maybe like healing yourself through your dreams. There is something here because these are opposite. And so there is, it's like a push-pull type of energy between the actions that you want to take as they relate to your dreams and how you're processing all of this information. Like there's something about maybe in the details of this that doesn't feel grounded. There needs to be some sort of happy medium here. And so this is really kind of bringing to light, like you might be feeling a certain way and it may not align with the actions that you're trying to take when it comes to pursuing your dreams. Like they might be too unrealistic or I'm getting like a blurred, like a vision of they're just too blurry. And so you're missing the details here, and Virgo wants you to focus on the details. At the same time, we'll have Mars square Uranus and Taurus. And so Uranus and Taurus is a very grounded sign. It's an earth sign. It's ruled by Venus. So this is all about relationships, bringing things together, harmony, the things that you value. There's a lot of really positive energy with Taurus. It's sitting in your 8th house of transformation. And so your Pisces, so Mars in Pisces is sitting in your 6th house again, so your dreams around your daily life. The 8th house in Taurus, it's trying to create some sort of grounding transformation so that you can have what you're seeking here. You can have that daily life that you're looking for. With Uranus, I mean, it's literally the tower card in tarot, and so this is going to be some sort of sudden change. This is a shakeup in this transformation that's going to, again, once again, break free from anything that's holding you back. It's going to remove any kind of restrictions here so that you can go after exactly what you want. Getting a lot of that energy here. And so really take advantage of it here, because you're definitely one of the more positive signs this month with this energy. And then on the 25th, we'll have the full moon in Libra. And so that's going to happen at 3 o'clock in the morning Eastern time. It is the lunar eclipse. It is your eclipse here. And so what this means, again, moon will be opposite the sun. So we've got the moon sitting in your sign. So that is your first house. And this is going to be how you feel about yourself. Then we've got the 7th house in Aries. And so this is about your one-to-one partnerships here, possibly even a marriage. So there's something here that needs to be reconciled. There's something about the way you feel about yourself and maybe the way you feel within this marriage or commitment or whatever it is that is being brought to the surface. There's something here that's being brought to the surface. And it does relate to your dreams, because we also have the moon opposite Neptune in Pisces. And so when it comes to your daily routines, this to me indicates that there is going to be some sort of transformation taking place within your significant relationship here. And that relationship is impacted by whatever changes you're trying to make to your daily routine. It's also impacted by what it is that you feel, what it is that you want for yourself. We'll also have the moon trine Pluto in Aquarius. And so again, Pluto in Aquarius, this is sitting in your 5th house of children. Could be children. And I keep saying that only because relationships are so highlighted here, especially the marriage relationship. And so if you're not married and that's not applicable to you, then it really is more about a significant relationship if you're in one. It could be about passions and hobbies and changes that you're trying to make. And it could be that maybe you're the type of person that has always had short-term relationships and you really long for some sort of long-term relationship. And so this would be making the necessary changes in your daily life, to yourself, to the way that you view relationships, in order to have that type of long-term relationship that you're looking for. And so all of this is coming to the surface. All of this is giving you an opportunity to really make the changes that you want to make within yourself, within your routines. And so it is being guided by the universe to kind of nudge you along and remove any of those barriers. So Libra, this is your reading. I hope it resonates. If it did, please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Take care.